Morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Phoenix South. So this is where we all get together once a week to help each other in some way. If you have a business of any kind, regardless what it is, even if it is something that is locally done. It's you got to network somewhere. In other words, if you can, a lot of our people after COVID found a lot of ways to be able to extend their services, though they can go abroad, so they can go on Zoom, so they could help people in other areas. And when challenges like that happen, we always find a way to make things going. I know it helped our business incredibly in that way. We are now doing about three-quarters of our work remotely, where it was the other way. It was only 25% at the time. But people are more open to be able to meet, over virtual, over Zoom, or over whatever conference program that you use. And this way, you could still help. You could still. I know Norm's using it for estimates and so on, so that he doesn't have to drive an hour to get to someone's house. They can just show it on his phone, and he says, "Okay, I know what the problem is," and he can fix it that way. So this way, if you have a business in some way, give us a try. Come in for a couple of meetings and see if this is something that will be a good fit for you. Okay, because it's always people that buy things. It's not just the internet, and it's not just that. They want to be able to meet the owner of whatever business that it is. That's really where the thrust of all this is. So just going to share my screen here, give you a little update of how Phoenix is doing. Well, this is our main hub, pbex.ca. It's pbex.ca or phoenixbusinessexchange.com. They'll both go to this site. And we are featuring our member of the week, which is Shane Bayless, our chiropractor from the Bell's Corners group and Bernie's group there. And there's his e-card and a short info of what he does. He's been with Phoenix for, oh boy, I've got to be 6-7 years now. He was almost one of the first ones that joined in the beginning when we started. And we have four groups now, four main powerful groups. And the three that are weekly, we have Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, place like today. And if you ever have a visitor of any kind, that just come onto this site, press the red button, and the Zoom number and is embedded in that way. So if you get a new computer, or if you want to bring a visitor in, this is the place to go. We also have an after hours group where if those people that can't network during the day because they find it so busy and they just can't come up with that kind of time, then we have a once a month group where we meet in the evening. And it's more of a mastermind group where we get together. You do a little bit of networking, but mostly it is to help your business. And all members are open for that. It doesn't cost anything. Although in the beginning we used to charge for it, but we just wanted to bring in more people to be able to monitor your goals, and we found that people that did have their goals monitored, so far all the ones that we've had attained everything. So we thought it would be a good value to extend that. East Trade Winds is a global networking that Bernie is heading up every Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. I do my meditation every Friday at 1:30. Penny Lee does her dance class, and all the dates and the times are listed in there. And she has an incredible thing that she does every month. It's called a Friends Friday Fun Potluck Get Together. And it's not really a business thing, but it's been amazing in some ways because you get to meet people that are from all walks of life. They bring food, and we talk a little bit about various events that are going on, and it's just like a nice get together. And it's been very successful for me. I went last week or last month, and I had quite a few people that wanted to talk more about what I do and so on. And I'm looking forward to going again tomorrow night. Starts at 6:30, goes for a couple of hours or so, 2-3 hours, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely highly recommend that. East End Group are meeting, believe they met yesterday at the Bigs. The next one is the South Group, which are meeting together at on the 24th. So next week there is no meeting. So it's Thanksgiving. So the Monday, Wednesday, and the Thursday group, there's no meeting. Okay, so we will send out a text on top of that, but just so you know, for the Thanksgiving, we have that week off. Okay, the following week, we're going to get together on the South. So that's a good time to bring visitors, folks. If you know of somebody who's toying with the idea, if they're in a new business or whether they have an established business, but they want a few more clients and want to get connection, that's a good time to bring those visitors in. We have a couple of weeks. So send out your notices, send out whatever it is that you can to have the person come to that meeting. Hopefully my hairdresser will be able to come. She's an amazing lady for Cecile, and so hopefully we'll see her again. Our Bell's Corners group are meeting on the end of the month, October the 28th, and that'll be at the High Fives in Bell's Corners. Okay. Again, if you know somebody that wants to join Phoenix, the membership is right here. If you want to apply right away, or the QR code that's listed there will bring you right to all of what the website can do and all the things that Phoenix is involved in. All right. As far as numbers go, we have 140,000 in terms of referrals since beginning of the year, and 401 business referrals so far for this year. 4.7 million in business altogether since we started 8 years ago. And that was on January 14th, 2016. That was quite the time then. 7,463 business referrals so far. So we're keeping track of that. So for all of our members, if you can send me your stats for last month, for the month of September, what business that you have done with others, and we're keeping track of it. I have so far another 900 I'll be adding in terms of sales to that. So if you can send that in, either text me or text Bernie and let us know. All right. Our e-cards is an electronic business card that all our members get, and it sort of connects us in many ways. And we felt a good idea to be able to monitor how clients connect to us. So when you post something on Facebook or Instagram, or I have it at the bottom of my emails. So if they want to get a hold of me, this is Tony's additional contact, and my link is there. I also have a QR code, which we all have. And this is way if you're at a trade show or whatever and you don't get a chance to talk to somebody, they can QR code scan it and have that information on their phone. So far we have 7,277 people that have connected to all of our phones in that collectively. So that's great. Every year we always have a goal of getting 10,000. And keep in mind, these aren't people that have your contact information. It's usually the people that don't have it that will click that. So, it's a good possibility that if these are all new people that are looking to connect to you. So it's a great thing. I also wanted to mention that just a proposal, because Bernie and I had sort of running this, and Penny Lee and so on, but basically Phoenix is yours. This is run by the members, and we wanted to suggest that because of the winter months coming, we have our next meeting, which is November. We're suggesting if that be the last in-person meeting that we go to, because for the month of December, January, February, March, okay, those are the winter months, and the roads, lots of snow on the roads, and it's harder to be able to meet in person. So we're just wondering if that would be conducive to you. If you still want it, we'll do it, but that's just a suggestion. If there is any way that you wanted to just continue on to Zoom until April, then things start clearing up, and at least in Canada, we can be able to get together that way. So let us know what your feelings are on that, if you're okay with that, because that way, with all the extra snow and ice over the winter that it offers, that it's harder to be able to meet in person. We'll still do the Korean chicken and things like that for lunches, and we still get together. But in the morning, the traffic is pretty heavy, at least in the Ottawa area. Okay, so let us know what your thoughts are on that. The couple of other announcements is that Phoenix is looking at getting a corporate New Year's charity ball table, and this holds what 10 people. And if we get a corporate table, a normal price of a plate for New Year's, this is when you're dressing up for New Year's, 31st of December, and it's going to be at the convention center just off of, I believe it's not, I think it's Ogilvy. Could be Ogilvy. Anyway, it's at the convention center just off of Riverside Drive. And we instead of $200 a plate as a corporate table, it's half that. So if you're interested, let us know. There's 6 spots left. That's basically 3 people because you'll more than likely bring your wife or your girlfriend or whatever, not both, because then there's more problems. Uh, so let us know what your thoughts on that. You want to dress up for New Year's and just let us know so we can reserve that table for you. Also, monthly sales, I mentioned that. Also, there is a scam going around, and I think I texted everybody on this just to reiterate. It's a parking ticket scam. Either you're going to get it by email or by text, and it's just something like on such and such a date. With my client, they found that it was on July the 31st you were parking illegally. It's $105, but if you want to wipe that off, we can settle the whole thing for $50. Send now, and you click something, and any one of number of things can happen. If you click anything unauthorized, it could get into your phone. They have programs now that could mess up your phone a little bit. Anything that's on there can be altered and so on. And or if you are going to do any transactions, anyway, it's I think by now I think we really know that if we really are not sure of something, it's something that it feels like a scam. It usually is. Okay, if you're not sure, get a hold of me. I can give you a quick reading whether or not it's good. I'm getting that every so often. So our members, I have no problem doing that and helping you out there. Okay, so okay, let's. Our education. Who's doing the education? Just out of curiosity. Anybody? Well, okay, just a quick one here. When we all get together, we have we had a conversation yesterday with one of our members that they wanted to meet privately just to get this was a Korean chicken sort of a thing. So at noon somewhere, if you want to get together as a small group, 2, 3, 5 people or something, it's a great idea because that way you still connect in that way. And every time you connect, I always seem to have this surge of business somehow. Whenever there's that connection, it stimulates a lot of things. And besides, you got to realize that the people that you associate with, they have a different mindset than somebody that you just sort of hang around with. They're always talking negative. They're always, every time you have a suggestion, they'll say, "Oh no, that probably won't work." But if you hang around with people that are other entrepreneurs, okay, they have always possibility thoughts. He says, "Oh, have you considered this? Have you thought of this? Sounds like a great idea if you do it in this manner." So we think like 5 of our average people that we hang around with. So I like to hang around with people that are successful and that they're making things happen. A lot of people that are just here in this room, Eric and Bernie, these are very successfully minded people, and many, many others. So there's somebody that wants to, and I get messages all the time that people just want to, meet for coffee. And so what are we going to talk about? It's just there's probably catch up on some news with some friends from high school or something. And those I will still do. But if I know that the person's very negative, it's not as attractive because I know I'm going to leave there feeling worse than when I went in. The idea is to feel better after you leave and more inspired. Because chances are everyone is working on something new, some kind of a new idea, a new way of doing things, and sometimes we just need maybe not advice, but maybe just support. The fact that, oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea, and this way you're drawing on many years of experience in success. I saw this interview just yesterday where this person is saying, being an entrepreneur, you got to be a little bit crazy because you got to not only think that you're bigger and better than the big companies, and they have so much more money than small businesses do, but we think that we can make it no matter what. And we think that we can hit a profit on the first year, which we can't, but we think we can. And people are saying, "Oh, why'd you get into that? You could just get a regular job, but you still are doing what you're doing." So, in other words, you got to be really focused on yourself. There's this sense that you got to be on your own sort of thing. And so, in doing that, you're able to be in a completely different league. And when other people are there and they've done it, that's the type of people you want to hang around with. Those are the type of people that you want to keep going with, the people that you feel uplifted, that you feel that, okay, I have a chance here. And because we are small, we don't have nearly the expenses or the obligation like the larger companies do. Some people have a $10,000 a week payroll. Well, we don't have that. So there are a lot of advantages that we have. And now that I had to shut down my shop downtown about 4 years ago with COVID, I have the same business now, but I don't have the $2,500 a month rent that I had to pay, plus parking, plus everything else. So I was able to put that into other things and other equipment and better things to make it so when people come to my studio, it's equipped. Like, I'm not doing this as a hobby, sort of thing. So it's good to know that, okay? Okay, let's get right into our introductions, guys. And Kat, you are presenting today. So those that are watching on Facebook Live, YouTube, or LinkedIn, be sure to hang around for Kat Heard, that she has a very important message on social media. She's our expert. I've used her so many times, and she's amazing, absolutely amazing. I don't know what I'd do without her. So she has some great tips that she's going to bestow on us today. So those that are watching, just hang around and let us give you some kind of inspiration or some tips that you might be able to use right away. So let's get right into our introductions. And can we start with Q? Go ahead, girl.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Q. I'm the intern lady of the group. And do you know, if a 45 years old making 100,000 per year passes away, their family will miss out on 2 years of income over the next 20 years. That's why having life insurance is so important, because it protects their family financially if they're not around. Q from World Financial Group, providing you with financial peace of mind when you need it most. So if you or anyone you know need to find out how life, critical illness, and disability insurance works for them and their situation, please give me a call so we can have a conversation. Thank you.
Thank you, Q. Any BAMs or referrals for last week?
Not last week.
No? Okay. Okay, checking in. All right. And Norm, over to you, sir.
Good morning. Norm Boyer, Boyer Boys Home Maintenance and Repair. Yes, the internet now, when I do my quotes, somebody emailed us that I need a thermopane 13 by 25. How much? That's not enough information for us to give them a quote. So I emailed them back and said, go to our website, go to under frequently asked questions. It tells you what information I need to give you a quote. I didn't get a reply back, but I didn't waste my time trying to do something that I couldn't do. The other thing that I did last week was somebody needed a parts for a patio door. It was really old patio door. I wasn't able to secure it, but I referred him to somebody who probably could. So I got to see how that came out. So I try to solve the problem, even though if we can't do it, I try to refer them to somebody who can do it. Although, our biggest thing is that honeydew list. It's hard to find people that can do multiple things, replace your trim, fix some drywall, do a little bit of painting, fix some flooring, replace flooring. So Boyer Boys has the equipment to do some stuff quickly where other people, although we charge $75 to $85 an hour, we can do in an hour a lot more than somebody can do in 2 to 2.5 hours because of the equipment we have, right? So that makes a big difference, is being equipped. So Boyer Boys Home Maintenance Repair, we'll fix your home and we'll get your honey-do list done.
Thank you, Norm. Any BAMs or referrals for last week?
Not this week, no.
Okay, thanks, Norm. And Eric, over to you, sir.
Good morning,
What's
everybody.
shaking?
So Eric Perron, your realtor, your real estate advisor with Engel and Volkers Ottawa. Making sense out of the Ottawa market. October 23, we're supposed to have an interest rate drop. So we'll see what happens to the Bank of Canada. Most people are thinking it's 0.5%. Some people are thinking that within the next year, we're going to be dropping by 1% in total. So let's see what happens. Housing affordability still needs to be that we have more inventory than we have demand. So right now we're also in a state where it's a balanced market. So buyers and sellers are both taking their time to either sell or to buy. So it's taking 60 days or so in order to list a home and then finally get an offer that's reasonable. We're also seeing sometimes where there are multiple offers still on properties, funny enough, after the properties have been online for 45, 50, 60 days. So it really becomes weird. You throw in an offer, you call the realtor, say, hey, my client's going to put an offer on. And all of a sudden you get told, well, actually, we just received another offer. It's a really bizarre market. Even veterans that have been in the business for 30 to 40 years have said this is the weirdest, most bizarre market we've been in. So all that to say is if you do have questions, if you do need information, you're trying to figure out your purchasing power, you're trying to figure out your selling power, make sure to get in touch with me because I can either help you in the short term to sell or buy in the first, month or two, but also people are coming to me to set themselves up for the springtime. So I'm Eric Perron, your real estate advisor with Engel and Volkers Ottawa.
Thank you, Eric. And how'd you do last week? Any BAMs, any referrals?
Yeah, had a BAM and had a referral coming in.
Okay. Okay, awesome. And to those that are watching, a BAM is a business activity meeting. It's when two members get together that want to just know more about each other. And it is big because they go from somebody that you know to more of a friend, more of a really strong person that you associate with. And you're more likely to give somebody business that way because you got to have trust. Every time I give somebody a referral, I'm giving myself in that. So if it doesn't go well, I don't look good either. So in other words, that's what those BAMs do. They really strengthen that relationship. And over to Susan Ebbs. How you doing, Susan?
Good morning, everyone. Doing just hunky-dory, not particularly liking this winter weather, but whatever. I know we're going to have an Indian summer soon. I represent a company that helps you with your non-toxic cleaning needs. And there goes my screen going berserko. We have products that can help fix almost anything. The one I'd like to highlight today is Clear Defense. This is 99.9% of all your germs and COVID and everything else will be wiped away when you're touching the door handles, your phones, your keyboards. You don't know how many germs are on there. This particular hand sanitizer does not cause dry skin like the Purell does. It doesn't cause burning. I remember hearing of little children, holding on to the grocery store carts because they had been Purelled to death and their hands got burnt. It also comes in a convenient little purse bottle, or if you prefer the wet wipes, those are even more convenient. So we have lots of ways that you can get your protection against the nasty little germs that are floating around at this time of year. I don't know, every time I talk to someone, they either have had a cold and it lasts and lasts and lasts, or they know someone that had a cold. Let me see. I gave a referral to Norm. My girlfriend was needing some honey-do list things done to her 100-year home. I called Eric, and my friend needed a referral to a lawyer. He gave me the name of a lawyer referred to from his brother-in-law. I have ongoing business with Penny Lee, and oh yes, Joyce Owen and Norm ordered product from me. So that's everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. And Mr. Sam Sturz, over to you, sir.
Pushing the button. There we go. There we go. It took a little while to get the audio back on. Thank you, there, Tony. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. First of all, Tony, thank you for that mention on that scam, because I actually received it just a couple days after that. I received it and ignored it, deleted it. And believe it or not, my wife received it just yesterday. So it's for real. That scam is out there. So thank you for that information. Let's see here. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. Well, you know what I do? I do dash cameras like this one. Q has it in her vehicle, and I know Eric has it in his vehicle because I installed it. I also do minor repairs, oil changes, brake jobs, things like that. And well, it's coming up the tire change season to put on your snow tires. So if you have them on rims, I'd be gladly do that for you, and I'll check your brakes at the same time to make sure they're going to be good for the winter. So if you have some referrals, I'd appreciate it very much. Plus, I'm running a contest for these tire covers. Person gives me the most referrals that turn into business, get a free set of those tire covers. There's what they look like on my own car because I enjoy them very much. The last set of tire covers you'll ever need. They will fit tires from 13-inch all the way up to, believe it or not, 30-inch tires. So they span a long way. So don't worry about it, making sure it fits your vehicle. Even if Norm, you got a big van with 28-inch tires, they will actually fit on them, believe it or not. Anyway, besides that, let's see, BAMS wise, well, Tanya Hewitt, former member of Phoenix, was here this week, and I did an oil change for her on her vehicle. And well, Dave gave me a referral, and tomorrow I'll be putting this called a hub wheel bearing on a Tesla Model 3. These things are huge. Look at the size of that thing. Biggest wheel bearing ever put on a vehicle will be tomorrow, and I appreciate that referral from him, I should say, for that. So he'll be in the running for the tire covers for sure. That's it for me. Sam Sturz, connectedcars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of a new vehicle, and a heck of a lot more.
Yeah, I love those tire covers. Yeah, I have them with the handles and everything. They're very easy to move, and because the covers, they cover all the parts of the tires that's dirty. When you're moving it around with different pants, you're not going to get them all dirty as well. So no, those are great idea, Sam. Awesome. And it's great to see that former members are still coming to you. I mean, you're obviously doing something right. So it's great to have that network of people that, as people move on for various things, that they're still giving you business that way. So that's amazing. Great. And over to Bernie. How you doing, sir?
Sir, I'm doing rather well. So I put some information in the chat, the usual suspect of things that I do. Knack for Business podcast, introducing companies, these trade wins, YouTube channel in that space. I'm going to highlight something, and this is kind of more of what I do. There is a company that started called At Hive. It's just off of the Maitland exit, south of the Queensway, on Courtwood. And they do, if you need temporary office space, whether it's an hour, a day, you need to host a conference, it's extremely high tech space. They are doing free tours, and actually they wouldn't mind if you drop in and say, hey, I'm curious to see about the space, and kind of taste test it. They're just ramping up. They were at the East Tradewinds. Their post or their video will be posting soon on East Tradewinds. And I can keep going, and I don't want to do that because you know what? This is Kat's time. So over to you, Tony.
Thank you, Bernie. And hi, everybody. Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group. One of the things I love to do is just in a very short time be able to give somebody either a reading or a personal tuning session. It's like a sound therapy session, and this is when people are feeling off. They're feeling that there's just something not quite right in their energy. They feel it. They don't know what it is. But when they come in for some insight and they come in for various sessions, we can get it so that you're more focused on it because the energy outside of you governs everything. Everything is vibration. Everything has something to do with something inside of you that is creating whatever it is that is making you feel off. So we are doing that. I also do a lot of field work. One of the things that comes up is a gathering. So if you know, let's say 10 people that would like to meet at your home, we can have a Tupperware party, but there's no product. It's we bring spirit. So we give everybody a reading in that time. Each person gets about anywhere from a half hour to a 45-minute reading or so. And whatever that is, I bring all my tools. I bring my singing bowls, my tuning forks, everything. So we have to do something on the spot. It can be done. And it's a lot of fun. It takes all day, and it's a great way to just get out and be able to feel good and leave with the knowledge of what's really going on, and rather than what you think is going on. And so that's I have a new podcast coming out. It just came out on Wednesday called Universal Flow. If you have a chance, take a look at it. I have it in the chat, the link for that. It's also on Raising Your Spirits, and we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Deezer. We're on Spotify, and there's a whole host of others. We just got onto Amazon Music on there, so in about 15 other places. So anywhere that you are normally listening to your podcast, type in Raising Your Spirits and my name, and you'll more than likely find me. I have many things out there. So it's all about raising your spirits in some way, okay? So without no further ado, we have Kat Hurd that is joining us today. Kat, thank you very much for coming in. She can be talking a little bit about social media and other things. Then Kat, to take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kat from Purple Panda Creative Marketing. I do all kinds of things marketing, from social media to email marketing to any kind of branding, marketing strategy, you name it. If it's marketing related, I usually have something to do with it. So one of the things I kind of want to talk to you about is there's a lot of people who are putting posts out on social media who they're not really proofreading their posts. They're not using hashtags, and the posts are not really getting them anywhere. So what I want to kind of encourage you guys to do is, when you're putting out a post, please, once you've actually written the post, take a second, actually read the post. Does it make sense? Is it grammatically correct? Is it got spelling mistakes and that kind of thing? But also make sure that you're including hashtags. So whether you're putting this on your personal page on Facebook or LinkedIn, or whether you're putting it on your business pages or in your business groups, hashtags are key on every platform. So make sure you put them on, but also make sure every word has an initial capital. The reason for this is there's quite a lot of people all over the world that will see your posts. And there's a percentage of them, I'm not sure the Canadian statistic, but I know the American statistic is 26% of the audience that look at posts have disabilities. So out of that 26%, there's a huge chunk of them use things like screen readers and have issues with sight. So this also applies to people who don't have disabilities, but they're older people. When they try and read things, especially on a phone, if you don't put initial letters or initial capitals on your hashtags, they're exceptionally difficult to read. So making it kind of initial capitals makes it clearer to read. Also make sure whatever you're writing is not more than 4 words, because if you're writing a hashtag that's like 10 words, People are not going to read it. They're going to skip past it. And they're also searchable terms on your social media. People are not going to search for 10 words long, but they might type in, if you've used hashtag Boya Boys, they're going to use that. They're not going to put, hashtag Boya Boys and then 8 other words. It's just too much for people to find. So think about what it is that you're doing, but also make sure you're posting consistently. So whether that's 1 post a week or it's 10 posts a day, make sure your audience understand exactly when you're going to post. So it's always the same time every week. Schedulers are great. So whether you're using a third-party scheduler, whether you're using Facebook as a scheduler, X, LinkedIn, just make sure you're always scheduling for the same times. But please don't just pick a random time. Make sure that you're reading the algorithms. It will tell you when your audience is active on social media, because there's no point in you posting at 3:00 in the afternoon if your audience is checking your posts at 10 o'clock, because by the time they see it, it's too late. And the percentage of people that actually see your posts is so small that you're not going to get the traction. So look at when they're online and post when they're online, but also post stuff that's relevant to them. So don't just put a load of educational posts up or educational videos that don't reference your audience. So know who you're talking to and aim your message directly at who you're talking to. And I might be kind of preaching to the converted. It's purely because there's so many people, and you will either be one of these people or you will know people that are like this, who post stuff up that just, it doesn't resonate. They're getting very little traction on social media, if any at all. And then there's other people that will get millions of views and loads of people engaging because it's either relevant to the audience, it's topical at the time, or there's something in it that on Monday, people are interested, but by Tuesday, it might, you could put the same post up and you won't get the same engagement. Social media, unfortunately, is a very temperamental thing. It's absolutely necessary for you guys as small business owners. You've just got to know how to read it. And it's working out what works for you. There's no kind of standard. So I could tell you, these are the platforms to use. This is how many posts. This is the type of content. But at the end of the day, you're doing your posting. You know your audience better than I do. So you've got to be able to read them, engage with them, and find out what works for you. But don't just post for the sake of posting. And try and make sure that you're approachable in the sense of, there's no use if every post Sam puts out is about dash cams and he's just trying to sell his stuff. Because the more posts you put out, buy my stuff, I've got these tire covers, I've got these dash cams, people will just switch off. So by you actually engaging with them in the level of, this is what I did at the weekend, I went out with my dog and I saw, a possum, all these kinds of things are allowing people into your life. So by allowing them, obviously not the most confidential things. You don't want to say what you had for dinner or, a private conversation you had with your partner. It's stuff that allows people to connect with you, because Sam's not the only person that sells dash cams. There's probably hundreds of other people in the Ottawa area that do. However, people buy from Sam because they connect with him on a personal level. And it's the same with all of you. I mean, people are going to buy real estate from a realtor that they know, like, and trust. They're not going to buy it from just a random person. They're parting with thousands and thousands of dollars. So they need that connection. So make sure that you have that connection with your audience. They know you, they like you, they trust you. That way that they're not only going to do business with you, but they're going to refer you. And word of mouth, whether it's in person or whether it's electronic, is the most powerful connection you're going to have. Getting testimonials and referrals from your customers, sharing them online, shouting from the rooftops, do you know what? I had this incredible sale. This is what somebody said about my products, my services. It's what people want, because the more people see that you're providing that that quality, people are going to automatically kind of migrate towards you. They're going to want to be part of your world. And that's key with what you guys do, because it's all a personal service. And I'm sorry if I'm kind of saying stuff that you already know. It's just sometimes it's very easy, no matter what you do, and it'll be the same in every industry. You forget. You get so used to doing stuff on an autopilot that you just go, do you know what? I just need to do this. Whether it's marketing related or podcast related or whatever it is, you'll just do something without thinking about it. But because you don't take time and you don't think about it, you're doing stuff that's potentially not the right way of doing it. It maybe doesn't make sense. It doesn't generate the result you intended. It'd be a bit like trying to, put a screw in something, doing it kind of like squint. It's not going to hold the same way. So you need to make sure that whatever you're doing is going to work for you. And marketing's like your storefront. So you need to get it right. You need to make that first impression. You need to be in front of people demonstrating the best version of you that you can. And it's not just a question of, and so many people do this, they'll just go onto their Facebook page or their Facebook group, put up a post and go, I'm not getting anything. Well, of course you're not, because you're talking to people who already know, like, and trust you. You've got to be in the other pages and groups. So you've got to go into your local Ottawa, Ontario groups, or maybe even smaller. Sorry, my geography of Canada is not brilliant. So whatever your local town is, you're all going to have these little groups that you can post in. And if you can work wider afield beyond your province, then post in those pages and groups. You're all about raising that awareness and going into these groups, not just posting your stuff, but engaging and interacting with other people's content. So you're going to go and see the local contractor who's posting something. You want to go and comment on their stuff. You may not have done business with them, but you might turn around and say, oh, do you know what? This is a really good post. That sounds like a great offer you've put out. But it's something that the more you comment on other people's content, the more you're seen. And the more you're seen, the more memorable you are. Because it's like 13 touch points before a person will do business with you. So you've got to be out there where you can be. And it doesn't cost anything. I mean, you're all members of the South End group here. It doesn't cost you really anything other than a tiny amount of time for you to go to each other's social media pages and comment on the other person's products and services, because you all know each other, you all like each other, you all trust each other. You've probably all done business with each other. So giving that testimonial, engaging in those posts, sharing those posts, the more you do that, the more other people will do it for you. Even doing things like using the Phoenix pages, going into those pages and reminding people from other groups what you do, engaging with the social media posts there. The same with East Trade Winds or any other networking group you're part of. It's a community, but a community only works if we all help and support each other, if that makes sense. Tony, how am I doing for time? Because I'm just kind of talking. I've got 10 minutes or I've had 10 minutes.
No, you're probably good for another 8 minutes.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
never
so
a good sign.
you're pretty much done. We can do questions if you want, or if you're
Sure. Let's do questions, because otherwise I'll just talk a load of nonsense.
okay. I mean, this is a vast topic. Social media is big. I mean, a lot of times we don't know how to approach it. Does anybody have any specific questions of that Kat can answer? Because she's amazing at it, and I realize I didn't know about the time at the 10 o'clock in the morning. It is, now that you mention it, is a lot of where I get to check all my emails and my social media. And you're right, by 3 o'clock, I'm not looking at it in the same intensity, in the same way. So does anybody have any questions?
Hi, Kat. It's Susan. Susan Ebbs calling or speaking here. Just wanting to double check with you. I'm new to this analytics. What, where, how do you do that?
Which platform are you referencing, Susan?
Let's say Facebook.
So on Facebook, if you go into the Meta Business Suite and you go into the planner, it will give you suggested times. It
Yeah.
won't always give you every day of the week. And the reason it doesn't do that is your audiences may not be on your pages every day, but
Okay.
it will give you a rough guide to when to post. If there is nothing for that week, you can force the algorithm, but it takes 4 to 6 months to force the algorithm to your time.
Okay.
But I would go and check there first and see what's there.
Okay, perfect. And a hashtag is the number sign?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you very much.
you're welcome.
Yeah. Sam
Hey,
has
Sam.
a question.
Hi, Kat.
Hi.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Excuse my ignorance, but this hashtag thing, if I was to put that in like a comment I make on social media somewhere, Facebook, whatever, does that take someone directly to my website or what does the hashtag actually do?
So the hashtag is a searchable term. So it won't take to your website because your website wouldn't be a hashtag. But let's say you put up a post that says hashtag dash cams. It means if somebody wants to find it, they can go to the search bar at the top of Facebook or LinkedIn or whichever platform, and they can type in hashtag dash cams. And what will happen is anybody that's ever used that hashtag will suddenly appear in a list. You can use the same thing on Google. So you could go into Google and put in dash cams Ontario or Ottawa. And what will happen is it will, at that point, it will find your website. It will find all of your social media links. If you have podcast platforms, it will list everything there. So it's a way of finding you.
So you're using
Yeah, but
topics.
not directly, right? Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
What was that last question?
What was the last question there, Sam?
Yeah, it
I
won't
said
find
not
you
directly,
directly.
right? Is that,
Sam was asking, is it going to find you directly? No, but what it'll
Oh.
do is it'll put you onto that main search with a whole bunch of other dash cam comments.
Yes.
So you'll be viewable, but with everybody else in a grand scale, and then they'll have to click on you separately to go and find you.
Yep. However, if you use your business name, so everybody in every post should use their business name as the one of the first 3 hashtags. What will at that point happen is it will direct to your business specifically, but you're still going to have to click on a link to go to your website or onto your Facebook page or whatever, but it will then pull directly to your business. Otherwise, it's just any business that's used that hashtag.
So in Sam's case, he would put connected cars,
Yep.
hashtag Sam's dash cams,
Yep.
hashtag Sam's mechanical or whatever, mechanics,
Yep.
or tires or whatever. And so in that way, so it'll
Yes, so
go.
you would use that, and then in the search one, you would type in like hashtags connected cars CA, for example, and
Okay.
it would pull directly to him. The one piece of advice I will give you is do not use apostrophes. So when you're saying Sam's, that's Sam's without an apostrophe, because an apostrophe is not searchable.
Right.
It breaks the hashtag. So no
Okay.
special characters at all.
So just okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, anyone else? This is a big topic. I'm sure that I think the other day Norm had a question on social media. Like how would we're right at this time of year when you're looking at booking something for Windows or whatever. What could Norm do? Like in this case. Like Norm, remember that one time when you were looking at putting in the 366 glass and you weren't sure how to put that on because by putting it on without the hashtags, and I have to admit sometimes I'll do that and just forget the hashtags, And so, Kat will be right on that to say you got to have hashtags on there. So they're very important.
You have
So
to. The problem is, once you've posted it, so the second you press that post button, it runs what's called an algorithm. So basically, Facebook or LinkedIn or whichever platform it is will run through a computer generated algorithm. It searches for certain points, and depending on how many points you've checked off, depends how many people in your audience see your post. So, for example, the maximum on Facebook is 1.75% of your audience. So it doesn't matter how many people you've got in your audience, but only 1.75 maximum will ever see that post. So you need to have the hashtags on when you press that post so that the chances are you're going to hit 1.75%. Once it's run that algorithm, if you go back in and add the hashtags like so many people do, it's too late. The only way you're then going to get more people seeing it is if you get a ton of engagement. So you would need to go and get multiple people to then go and comment and share your content before Facebook will then re-recognize that post.
okay.
But if you're doing an offer, like Norm doing his windows, you would need to make sure that goes in one of the first 3 hashtags. But you also need to make sure that you're posting it in as many places as possible. Using video content, using really powerful graphics is going to push that forward. But you've also got things like, I'm not suggesting you do this, but you have things like paid adverts. You have sponsorship ads that you can put on as well. So there's loads of ways of doing it. If you have something specific like that you want to do, then book a conversation with me. We'll have a conversation. We'll look at exactly what you want to do, and I can give you very specific advice. It's difficult without knowing exactly what you're doing, how to recommend that you do something specific. I need to know what you've tried, who it is you're trying to talk to, so that I can give you tailored advice rather than just kind of vague generic, because what might work for Sam may not work for Norm, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we all have seasons, right? Like Sam has snow tires will be a big thing, right? With me, glass replacements all year, but window replacement, I don't do it in the wintertime, right? So right now I'm encouraging to people to book in the spring if they want something like a door replace or window replace, right? Although people tend to
Yes.
put it off the last minute and expect me to do it in the freezing cold. And your bad planning doesn't constitute an emergency in my world.
But what
Yeah.
you then do is you do posts that reiterate that fact. We're now booking for spring. Book now to get your windows done, or you would do it in advance. Winter's coming, get this done, or fall's coming, get this done. But make sure in your hashtags, if you're using something like booking for spring, use hashtags to do with, spring bookings and book in advance. You would just use your hashtags to get everything in the right place rather than putting in, windows and doors, because people will assume if your post, your messaging doesn't say this is when we do it, your hashtags don't alert to that, people will assume you do it all year round.
Right. Yeah, good point. Kat, thank you very much. Okay, we're just
Okay.
kind of at the top of the hour. If you could put your contact information in the chat, that would be great for the members here. And those that are watching on Facebook Live and LinkedIn and YouTube, get a hold of us if you want to get a hold of Kat. We will have it on our Phoenix site on Facebook as well. She is actually posted on there, and we can direct you to the right person to help you, because Kat is worldwide. She can do anything from the location of where she is. So let's get a final quote there, Bernie, and get us on our way right at the 9 o'clock.
Tony, quote for the day: "An obstacle is often a stepping stone." That's from William Prescott.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Kat. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Remember, there's nothing for next week, okay? So everybody else, have yourself a great Thanksgiving. And we Yeah, do something very memorable. What are you thankful for? And there's so many things that we can be thankful for. One of them is that we're not in North Carolina. I really feel for those people. There's a lot going on there, and our prayers and our thoughts go to those that are in that situation. That things work out for